Sheena Biffert, and I'm joined by the rest of the elementary team, and we're here today to talk to you about some new curriculum reminders. We have a social studies update for piloting. We have science updates, mainly for resources. We have math and ELAL tips and check-ins, and then we just have a couple last updates. And then for those French schools, you will have the last part of the meeting with Danielle, and that's where you will get your ELAL updates. All right, so this is just a reminder of the upcoming meeting. So after today, February 26th, we have one more meeting scheduled, May 28th, and I'm sure it's in your calendars. Please keep it in your calendars. We do plan to stick to this schedule, even though you probably heard the good news. We finally have an adult joining our team again. We're really excited to welcome Charlotte Smith, our new elementary supervisor. And I'm sure she'll have her own vision, but we can be pretty certain that we will stick to that set schedule. So do keep that in your calendar, please.
And Charlotte's not here with us yet. She starts on Monday, right?
That's right. Wednesday.
There was a little comments from Kirk in the chat.
Sorry, Kirk. Actually, Kirk has been our stepdad. He's been doing an excellent job, and he's a very present stepdad too, I must say. So thank you.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
Okay, Jen.
Okay, so I do have some social studies pilot implementation updates. I get to join the team, the new curriculum team. This has been finally. Thanks, guys. Been waiting. The next slide just shows that Alberta Ed, we were waiting. There was some bets going on, but this has been posted. It was recently posted on the new Alberta website. K-3 will be implemented in 2025. 4-6 will be optionally implemented in 2025 with full implementation in 2026. So that document is hyperlinked. It actually goes through some of the other junior high. If you're at a K-9, it might be a great resource to share with some of your junior high teachers as well.
Jen, I don't know if you're talking about this later, but what's the difference between a pilot and an optional implementation?
The curriculum will be finalized in April. It's projected to be finalized in April. And so there are some teachers who will be able to actually implement. It is not a pilot. A pilot is, you can, for example, if there's some teachers who are just piloting one outcome, you would commit to piloting a full implementation, and it is no longer a draft, and it will be finalized. So there are some teachers, especially grade 6 teachers. If you are set, you might want to connect if you have some grade 6 teachers who are piloting. Many of those have expressed interest in optionally implementing next year.
Thanks.
Okay, so if you are wondering about the social studies draft and how it's been organized, there are 3 organizing ideas, and they are time and place, systems and citizenship, and they go through K-6.
So a lot less organizing ideas than our other subjects.
Yes.
Like math has like 7, science has 5 or 6. Yeah.
There
7.
are a lot of outcomes though.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that in a moment. So we've been very fortunate to have over 80 piloting teachers from K-6, and it's been a great opportunity. We've come together over 4 Saturdays, lots of after school sessions. So thank you to all the amazing piloting teachers for your feedback. We recently hosted a collaborative feedback session, and I was able to submit some feedback to Alberta Ed actually today. There are some key themes. I know you guys, I know all the consultant friends were wondering what the key messagings for feedback was, and content load was a reoccurring feedback theme. Also, Indigenous worldviews. A lot of Indigenous outcomes are historical without considering how we have Indigenous worldviews are present in our daily lives. So that was a missed opportunity. So some feedback was given regarding that. Also, all the skills and processes that are in the program of studies, such as historical thinking and geographical thinking, have now been removed. They are in some grades in the skills and processes, but not that progression that was in the program of study. So that is a reason why the active citizenship piece and thinking like a social scientist are big rocks that were chosen. There is a really great article from the ATA. It's called The Good Social Studies, and it's actually just links to really great in-depth research about what good social studies is. If you are interested in reading the response to the social studies curriculum draft, it is hyperlinked there as well, and it's an excellent resource to wrap your head around social studies.
Cool.
The Curriculum Implementation Hub is up and running with social studies resources being linked, just like all the other subjects. You click on your learning outcome, you click on the little I, and there are linked resources. Teachers have given great feedback about these resources, and I can say that they have been improved since the beginning of the piloting implementation in September. So thank you to all the feedback that's been given. Alberta Ed is responsive to especially linking more engaging resources. Also, a big shout out to Edmonton Catholic, who have been busy creating resources. There's a few social studies consultants that are working on, similar to other subjects, the curriculum crates. So every subject, every grade will have a placemat, similar to the one linked at the top. And they're linked with with videos, resources, thinking routines, some really great pedagogy, how you can assess your students with products, observation, and conversations. Those will all be released after the draft is finalized, expected to be released by the end of April or May. So look for those. They will also be linked in the Curriculum Implementation Hub and in your resources. So when you click on your outcomes, they will also be linked to there.
And these curriculum crates are pretty great. Has anyone used these before for the other subjects? Like, I know they have math curriculum crates that are free to use. I'm pretty sure there's science, Pew, ELAL.
Yep.
So if you haven't used these before, just Google Edmonton Catholic Schools. Is this a link on here?
This one is, I think that one is hyperlinked to one on the bottom. The other one is just a screenshot because they haven't been released yet. So I just screenshotted it. I didn't want to take anything. They have been very generous in sharing and getting feedback. The great thing about these crates is that they're designed by teachers and consultants in collaboration together, have been tested out in classrooms, are very pedagogically sound, and they're free. Did I mention they're free? They're free. So I'm excited about seeing those, and they're open to feedback too. They're willing to change things, add things. So as teachers use them, they can give their feedback, and they're responsive to making them even better. So that's really great.
Such a great resource.
This is a project that we've been working with our piloting teacher. We were tasked to read 250 books. United Library Services has generously donated 250 books for us to work on a collaborative project with them. And piloting teachers over a few Saturdays, we delved into the books, we read, we discussed, we linked them to specific outcomes. We talked about mentor text, and it's been a really great in-depth project. I've read a lot of books. The vision is to create something just like in science that you might have seen this, and to link the actual every book to learning outcomes, and then these bundles will be for specific grades. The plan is to have them in schools in the fall, so look for those, and it's a really great way to integrate ELAL and social studies, my favorite thing ever, together. Right, Camille?
Completely.
This is just maybe a little cautionary tale. There is, although it is still being piloted, there has been these full year bundles that have been created through on Teachers Pay Teacher. They're in every subject. I did purchase a few of them just to look through. This one states it's been tested and found effective, which simply can't be true. I actually purchased this, I think, in October. And so piloting teachers have just begun, but it already stated that it has been tested and found effective. So just a little warning that Teachers Pay Teachers is not regulated in any way. So people can post things without having any pedagogy or being teachers or having that lens. And when it says that it's aligned, it isn't necessarily aligned. So you think you're buying something, it says Alberta, it says social studies, it says it's tested. That's not necessarily true. So you have to have that professional lens and be critical. And then thinking that a full year resource bundle is really not the curriculum. So we're suggesting sprinkling. We know there is some great things probably in this 420 page bundle, but many of it is not aligned, we found. And Jesse, you can hit the next slide. We'll go through a little bit. Thinking about whether the resources align. So you really have to know your new curriculum, and this can be a challenge, especially with new curriculum. You have to dig in, and sometimes that can be very overwhelming. I found it overwhelming when I was sorting through 420 pages to determine which activities were actually aligned. And then thinking, does this resource support all learners? We're thinking through that UDL lens, which is part of our March 7th PG session. And most importantly, is this resource engaging and does it spark curiosity? Is learning happening? As a social teacher, I always go back to our worksheets, growing dendrites. Does this resource grow dendrites? Sprinkle.
Love it.
All right. No, thank you very much, Jen. This is Jolene Munt, new curriculum science consultant. And I'm just going to be talking to you about some new resources coming your way, and then reminding you of some of the ones that we've already put into your schools and we have for you, available for you. So that was a great segue into this next section. So first of all, the energy toolkit. I know a few of our teachers out there know about these because they were at a session last week with us and we went through this toolkit. But so this toolkit is inspired by Inside Education. So Sheena and I actually went to an in-service last year about this toolkit and then came back and decided that all of our schools need to have one. So we've been in the process of building these kits, one kit for every school. We've had some donations and things like that. But basically each kit here has 9 lessons. All of the lesson plans are in that red duotang or little red duotang you see there. And anything that you need for the lessons are in the kit. So first of all, there's natural resource samples such as like wood and oil sands and coal. And then there's other materials such as a hand generator, solar panel, energy meter, lux meter, wind turbine kit that you can build, and a solar car kit. So those we'll be doing some more in-servicing around that. But if you don't get to come to a session, they will be sent out to your school in the pony in the next while. No firm date for that. Second new resource you'll be seeing is a walking curriculum and a walking curriculum for the early years. So these two go together, and basically what these are is a resource to of a bunch of different walks that you could take your students on, but not just a walk, just to get them outside for the sake of going outside, but to focus on something. And so each walk is linked to a cognitive tool, such as metaphor, or focusing on the senses, or story, or collecting and organizing, and so much more. The idea behind these walks is that they engage learners' emotions, their imagination, and their bodies directly to create a strong emotional connection to the learning experience. So again, we'll be offering some PG sessions on those, but if you don't get to attend one, they will be sent out to your schools as well. And maybe these ones need to be cataloged in your Learning Commons for everyone to use. Okay. Last set meeting, we talked about Starry Night, and now we are happy to say that you all have access to it. So we have, this is for teacher access only. So everybody can log in and use this password here. Starry Night is on our NCIS site. It is also on EPD site. And if you are having a hard time accessing it, please just send us an email, but it is fairly simple. Once you log in, you select the Starry Night Middle School, and honestly, there is so much on this digital resource. It's going to take us some time to go through, but in the meantime, we do have some how-to videos on how to quickly access some of your grade-specific lessons as you take some time to play around with this. This is a 7-year license, so we will have it for a while. And it's also the same program that connects to the Star Lab. So if your school gets the Star Lab, if you're using it in your classroom, then you know how to use it in the Star Lab as well. They work hand in hand.
You're talking about the new digital Star Lab. That's
yes.
right. So we'll have a new digital Star Lab coming into circulation as of September 2025. And the program in that digital Star Lab will be Starry Night. The other 2 Star Labs will still be in circulation, so you may not see the digital Star Lab, but when your school does, if your teachers are using Starry Night in the classroom with their students, then that'll just give them, you know, some confidence with that program. And when they get the digital Star Lab, they'll be able to use it to the best of its abilities.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so we just also want to remind you of some of the resources available to us on the New Learn Alberta site. So one of them is Gizmos. So the Alberta government has purchased an Explore Learning account for all of us, Alberta teachers, and they provided these Gizmos on the New Learn site. Gizmos, if you're not familiar, are online simulations. So here's an example of the circulatory system. There's one about plant growth, there's moon phases, there's some math ones with angles and things like that. There's 140 on New Learn Alberta, and they are quite good. There's also a lesson plan that goes with them and things like that. However, if you were to get signed up really for your Explore Learning account, then you have access to 500 Gizmos plus some STEM activities and things like that. So if you would like to, if you are a fan of Gizmos and you'd like more, if you can email Lindsay there, she will set up your account. And because Alberta government has purchased this for us, we all get this free account to Explore Learning with 500 Gizmos. Okay. Also, and I know we've been trying to share this out, but we do have this question pop up frequently, is how do I share some of these resources on New Learn Alberta with my students? So if you remember with the old program of studies and the old Alberta Learning site, we would use username LA05 and password 3403. Those still work, but they work now if your students are to log into their school account. And so if you wanted to share things on your Google Classroom, you could use this username and password, and they would have access to it there. Okay. Science supply school orders. Thank you to all of you who got your order in. We do have some money, obviously, to spend with science for this implementation. So one of the ways that we could help you to get some science supplies that you need and getting kids doing science was to offer your school some choice in what you needed. So hopefully you found it. We did hear back from some people that the process was pretty straightforward. So hopefully it was for everybody. And if you didn't get your order in, please just email me and we will see what we can do now. All of our orders will be consolidated and sent to supply management, who will be ordering them, and then all orders will be shipped directly to your school.
And Jolene, if we just wait until next year to order, is there going to be money to order these next year?
Not for science, Jessie. All of our money for science has to be used by the end of June. So this is why we kind of have some tight turnarounds in some of this stuff. And I maybe have been hounding some people and things like that. So I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I really want you to have access to all of this that we have for you.
Cool.
All right. Science safety, just a reminder that we created some science lessons around safety. And just, you might want to kind of go back to those, revisit those with different labs and things that you're doing in the different science organizing ideas. There's a book creator book there for you, your science safety poster that you should have at your school. I'm sorry, French teachers, yours is on the way. We're just waiting for it to come in French for you, but you will be getting those. And then also want to remind you about Honor the Work. So please, please, please don't forget about these kits. They were all distributed to your schools in the fall. And we are still in regular contact with Angela, the creator of the resource, and Tammy at the Calgary Construction Association. And perhaps you even chatted with each of them at convention because they both had booths set up there. So just quickly, we're wondering, we're just kind of wanted to know, how have these been used so far in your schools? I know that some people have been using them quite a bit and some people haven't started yet. So just so I have some feedback to give them as to how we're using them in our district. If you could take a second here and do this quick Menti, I haven't yet. I've used the lessons for CTF because that is an option for grade 5 and 6. I've done a few of the lessons in my class, or I've gone through most or all of the lessons. You can just take a second.
Do they just scan the QR code?
Scan the
Yeah.
QR code,
Okay.
yeah, and you can just do that. All right, so we've got a few people. Oh, great. Okay.
We can see the results here. And I'll also copy the link here and put it in our chat really quick. Hold on one second.
Oh, thanks, Jessie.
There we go.
Thank you. All right.
What'd she say?
I don't know what else.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, there we go.
Lovely little picture. Okay,
Nice.
thanks. Well, for those of you who said that you haven't started yet, let's go to the next slide. Thank you. All of the lessons and printed materials that, well, they're not printed, sorry, they're digital. Materials that you need can be found on the NCIS site. Every lesson connects to curriculum, mostly to science or math, sometimes to ELAL, and sometimes to social. Our Indigenous consultants have gone through all of the lessons from 1 to 6, and they've added the Indigenous perspective in there. All of the kits have the materials that you need to do the activities. I know when ordering supplies, a lot of people were asking about magnets and why magnets weren't on the supply list. Grade 4 teachers, check your bin. There's lots of magnets in that bin. There's tons of design thinking challenges in there for you to do. So you're tying in your computer science. Really, like in this year of like bridging between implementing the curriculum and not having an actual resource, this is a great place to start, and it's free and it's all there for you. Let's go to the next one. So if you're wanting to get started, the class survey here, if you could get your class to do it, that would be great. You could do it as one whole class survey, or you could have your students individually complete the survey. As I mentioned, all of your files that you need are on NCIS, and Sheena has them on EPD as well. And then there's just some examples of the grade 4, 5, and 6 activities that are in the kits as well. We had some questions around consumables. So first of all, the play sand that was available when we first started handing out the kits and then was recalled, we asked you to give it to your caretaker. We now have the new sand. So if you would like the sand, you can email Mike Dame at the warehouse and he will send it to you through the pony. And as for the other supplies, just stay tuned. We know that this is something that we need to work on, and we're working with the Construction Association, who has told us that yes, they are going to be replenishing all of those consumables. We're just working on the best way to do that. So just stay tuned for that. And then we just have one little ask, if you please, in this year of thanking God for all of his indescribable gifts. This was a huge gift to our district. It was about $200,000. So if at some point you could get your students to write thank you cards to either Bill and Tammy at the Construction Association or Angela, who developed the program, that would be, I think, just a really nice thing for us to be able to do, to give to them, to show our gratitude from our district. So if you can do that at some point, just send them to me here at St. Paul in the Pony, and I will get them to whoever they're for. Okay. And then just one little, you can, because it's animated there too, but we had this in last time in our last set meeting as well, but I just wanted to remind you that for 5 and 6, grade 5 and 6, you could use this as CTF. So if you're starting a new round for CTF and you're not sure, maybe you're doing options or something, you're not sure what you're doing, this would be a great place to start also, because you can report on it. All of your outcomes are here. It's got 2 more there. So again, that was just from last time as well, but I wanted you to be reminded of it. Okay. The science book bundles are at your schools. Just a few different ways of using these in your classes. Provoking a learning opportunity is a great way. If it says grade 2 on it and you need it for grade 5, don't be shy. You can use it. It doesn't matter what grade it might have been intended for. You can use it in any grade. You can use it to gather research, and maybe you want to integrate some ELAL as well and do like a little book talk. The original list that was sent out had some back-ordered titles, and those titles will be arriving soon, and the IMC ladies will be talking to Learning Commons librarians on how to catalog those books as well. Okay, so just a reminder, all of the science materials that we have, because again, like as Jen said earlier, we don't want you going and spending your own money. We are doing things behind the scenes here to help you out as we wait for that resource from Alberta or from Edmonton Public. All of our materials that we are making and creating for you can be found on the NCIS site. So simply click on your grade, okay, then select resources, science, and then you're going to find all of the links there. So unit plans, lesson plans, we've got them listed. Resource boards, Jessie had mentioned the Edmonton Public crates that are available. Any that are available for science, we put on those resource boards. We sometimes tie those also into our unit plans. So we are creating things for you. So just have a look there, because you might have a lot that you didn't know were there.
Yeah, and very similar to the Edmonton Catholic crates, our unit plans are built by our COP teachers, so a community of practice of teachers that are implementing these lessons in their classroom and working with this curriculum with their students right now too. So they are built by teachers for teachers, and we're super excited about that. And so if you do play around with our unit plans, at the end, you'll always find a feedback form there too, where we are also trying to collect some feedback to know how the lessons are working for you, so that we can be responsive to your needs and make them better. So do be aware of that as well. Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so Doreen is with us. She's our field test coordinator. So she was just going to give you a brief update on our field testing.
Great. Hi. Thanks, Jolene. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Doreen May. I'm our school district's field test coordinator for the new Stepping into Science Alberta resource that is currently being developed as we speak up in Edmonton. Some of you may be aware already that the K-3 resource is ready and available on New Learn Alberta. So we did mention that to our K-3 reps and teachers and making sure that they're accessing that resource. Currently, we have 30 amazing field testers for Calgary Catholic. I did notice on our attendance list here, we have a number of them attending this afternoon. So thank you, everybody, for your hard work. They're currently field testing Earth systems and implementing lessons, providing feedback that goes right to the resource writers up in Edmonton. So the first cycle is happening right now and will be ending March 7th. And the second cycle will happen, we're thinking, after our Easter break, and they will be field testing lessons in the science organizing idea. So yeah, we have for grade 4, we have 9 field testers, grade 5, there are 10, and grade 6, there are 11. And just we're keeping our fingers crossed that this resource will be made available for 4 to 6 in the upcoming school year. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, just once again, thank you to all those teachers who are working so hard to make sure that this is a great, comprehensive resource, in addition to all the amazing, incredible resources that Jolene and Sheena have been talking about. Thanks.
Thank you, Doreen. And yeah, just please check in like late August, early September to see if it is on New Learn Alberta, because we don't hear before you do as to when that's been posted. So just kind of keep checking back and seeing if it's there. Yeah, there it is. Awesome. Okay, thank you. All right, so some upcoming Science PG. So we have a virtual session on March 5th for Starry Night. We have Pedro from the program developers, who's going to be talking about that and showing us the different ways of navigating through that. March 7th is our district PG. We're going to be at St. Francis from 1 to 2:30, talking about some of these new resources we just talked to you about. And March 18th, a more in-depth version of that, talking about the walking curriculum, the energy toolkit, all of that stuff. So watch out for those. And then also, because as we said before, any money that we do have for implementing science does need to be used up by the end of June. So we have this science supply needs survey. If you wanted to take a minute, or if you can share this with your colleagues at your school, there's about 4 questions on there, and it's basically just what else do you need or could you use? If there was something that your school could use that wasn't on the supply list, or if there's you like the posters and you can think of something else, then you could just let us know. Anything that you can think of. Also, IMC kits. Okay, so we are reimagining all of the science kits at IMC. So if you have ideas that you think we should create a new kit for, please let us know and we'll see what we can do about that.
Yeah, or if your teachers have ideas, please share this form with your staff, your school staff, because everyone's voice is important and it'll help us to finish implementing in a good way.
I'll put it in the chat here in a second, and then you've got that there. But it is also linked in the slides. All right.
Lovely. So
Thank
don't
you.
spend your own money, spend
No.
ours.
Right.
Well,
Alberta
Gizmos.
Ed.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thanks, Jolene and Sheena. So, oh, do you have a link for the survey? We're going to drop that in the chat for you right now. Just keep putting questions in the chat. That's awesome. And we've got a team here who will answer those. So this is Jessie here. I'll give you a really quick update. We know that we are writing the math PAT this year in grade 6. So grades 4, 5, and 6 teachers, you're all welcome to come to this series. It's a 5-part series, so it's a lot, but we're going to really dig into the curriculum and what the PAT might be asking. We don't have a lot to go off of, but I did get to do some writing with Alberta Education and have been digging into the PAT a lot with Alberta Ed. So I have some that I can share with you and what kind of questions will and will not be on the PAT. So sign up for this session. And I know that we all have different schedules and this is a big commitment. So you can sign up and I will send the recordings out to anybody who's registered for it. So join me with that. Everybody is welcome to this. You don't have to just be a grade 6 teacher. The long range plans I'm continuing to update for Division 2. I'm going based off of the APLC's CPAR documents, which are public, but they're like massive 50-page PDF documents, and I'm trying to consolidate them into one document for us to use. So they're not all released yet. So as they get released, I update them. So, and I post what's updated on the elementary math EPD site. I have made grade 6 and grade 4 updates. I'm really trying to prioritize grade 6 because I know we have that PAT coming. So check back often because I do make updates to the long range plans fairly often. Finally, Matific is out there. We're using it. And, you know, when we were using Mathia Adventure, I got a lot of 1-star reviews in my email, and I heard you and I get it. And we have now switched to Matific. And you guys, 5-star reviews all around from teachers. And that is so awesome to hear. So this resource is a student-facing resource. Kids log on, they play. You can assign them things. You can just let them go and do their own thing because it adapts to their level. This resource is for grade 4, 5, and 6 teachers. You still have access to Mathia Adventure, but this is just something extra for you. You have to access it through Mathology. So really quickly, for your Mathology account, every single teacher in grade 4, 5, and 6 was registered for a Mathology account in September. The only teachers that won't have one are teachers who maybe got hired after September. If you're on the Mathology page, don't sign up for a trial. These trials are causing like 90% of the problems that we're encountering. So don't fill out your details. Log in with your CSSD account. And if you can't get in, click forgot password. If you get something that says my account is expired, it's because you probably signed up for a 30-day trial and your trial's expired. So please don't sign up for trials. Use your @CSSD account to log in and get your password if you need it. For Matific, there is no admin account. I don't have an admin account. Admin don't have an admin account. It's a bit different to Math the Adventure in that way. So this Matific is only for teachers. We can't give licenses to DLs or administrators. It's really a teacher-specific resource, and there isn't really anything else for the other people in the other adults in a school to access. So, but that's okay because teachers are loving it. So I'm going to take it. Virtual Boxcars PG is coming up on Tuesday, March 11th. John and Jane are going to join us online. They're at the same time, 4 o'clock after school, and there's a Div 1 and a Div 2 session. There'll be a printout that you can take with you, and they're only using the materials that are in the Boxcars kits that are in your school. So sign up for that. I know some of you are getting kicked out of your schools early. Sign up. I'll send you the recording. It'll also be posted on elementary EPD page. Off to you, Camille.
Up to you. So just a reminder about what's in your school. There's the Barbara Mariconda Empowering Writers, narrative and expository. There's Words Their Way. And if someone's interested in learning how to do it, there's Getting Started with Words Their Way on NCIS. There's a recording on how to do that. And just a reminder that Reading Eggs was also optional for grade 5 and 6. If you would like to try that resource out, you can try that. And if you're not sure how to do that, you can go to the presentations on the NCIS. And there's Reading Eggs, Getting Started. There's a repository so that people can understand how to use that resource. And also, if you're maybe still interested in Lit Pro Library and want to try that out, you can also, under presentations on the NCIS site, there's an overview and there's a repository for people. And also, there's a routine that was created with Rebecca Grant from Divine Mercy. And this is a really good morphology, decoding, and encoding routine that's all done in one. And I've linked them here for you. And there's also a video that we recorded because we did offer this, I think, in November. And then we recorded it now. So if people want to just watch it and learn how to use the resource, it's there for them. So if you can click, Jesse, and the recording's right here for you. It'll also get posted on EPD. Just need to do that. It's coming. But it's all linked here for you too if people are interested in this. It's a really good resource to do all of those things, morphology, decoding, and encoding for teachers in grade 4, 5, and 6.
I think Rebecca might be here tonight.
Rebecca.
So thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.
This is amazing.
You're awesome. And then I just want to let you know that there's an upcoming PG. It's focused on expository writing, and the focus is mostly for grade 6 PTs, but it's applicable to grade 4 and 5. It's just really good pedagogy on how to help students be successful in writing expository pieces. And that is being hosted by myself and with Rebecca Grant, who's phenomenal. So yes, please join us. And it'll be at Bishop O'Byrne, but it's in the PG catalog that's coming up.
Yeah, so this is March 7th, PG Day.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of it.
whoops. The PG catalog got sent out today to everybody, I believe. So everyone on our elementary team is doing something. You can go through the catalog and look. Camille's doing Div 2 writing with Rebecca. I'm doing some fraction stuff, which is kind of grade 3 to 6. We're going to dig into fractions. Science, what's up?
We're going through resources like the energy toolkit and the walking curriculum.
That's right, at St. Francis.
Correct.
Cool. And I know Jen is going to IMC. And if you've never been to IMC before, sign up for Jen's session because they're going to do a tour of IMC, see what's there, and you'll be able to sign stuff out. That's a really fun one. So go on a field trip to IMC if you want to check out that PG Day. And of course, there's other offerings from other consultants, but that's it. All right, when we're choosing and vetting our resources, like we've all kind of gone through, with our new curriculum implementation, our district has been provided with a lot of money to buy resources. We have spent a lot of money on these things to support teachers, and we go through a pretty comprehensive process in order to vet and choose these resources. There's an Alberta Education Guide here we have linked that you can use. This is actually a really easy resource to use if you're looking at a resource, maybe something on Teachers Pay Teachers or something else that you've used to help you determine if this is something that is appropriate for classrooms. And of course, we are here to support with that. But we really do look not only for curriculum alignment, obviously, but that it's developmentally appropriate. We look at the student experience and diversity, other considerations. We look at languages as well, what it's available in, cost, of course. So do reach out to us if you're curious about a resource. We're happy to vet it or let you know what we've kind of seen with it. We also want to remind you that on the NCIS site under resources, we've made comprehensive lists of everything that's purchased. So you can either search by grade. If you're a grade 6 teacher, you can see all subjects, what's been purchased for you. We've also organized it by subject. So you can just look at, for example, science resources. We keep this as updated as we possibly can. So check out what has been purchased for you before you click that buy button on some website. Come and see what's actually available for you for free. If you can't find something in 5 minutes, email us. We're happy to help. All right. Really quickly, do you want me to keep going? Does anyone else want to?
No, you're good. Keep talking.
going?
You're good.
Keep going. Grade 6 PATs. We know that this is happening this year for ELAL and math. For the first time with our new curriculum, we will be implementing this May and June. ELAL and the science will not be administered this year because it's their first year of implementation. They will not have PATs. If you are piloting social studies, the new curriculum, then you will not be required to administer PATs. But if you are using the existing social studies program of studies, then it's PATs as usual based on the program of studies. We're also switching to a digital platform. I know some of you have maybe done some poking around with it already. It's called Veretta. And this year, we're encouraging everyone to use the digital assessment platform. But next year, 2025-26, all PATs will be administered through this digital assessment platform. And then same thing as we go on. So this being said, because we're switching to a digital platform, the best way to familiarize yourself and your students with this new platform is to test it out. You can field test. Grade 6 teachers get in there and sign up for these field tests. Not only do these give feedback to Alberta Education about the questions to build future PATs, but they also help you and your students to learn Veretta. And the links are there for you. There's sessions coming up and pre-recorded sessions about how to use Veretta. I won't go into this, but just know that these are here. We can support you with that piece for PATs. And there's also practice tests on Veretta, right? Science, you guys have some practice tests?
There's science unit tests that you can field test, which we have never had before. So we're super excited about that. So we would suggest that, you know, when you're done one of your organizing ideas, maybe you're wrapping up space, for instance, then pop onto Veretta and try the space unit test and so on. Maybe you go into living systems next. When you're done that, pop into Veretta, try out the unit test field test. And we think that these unit tests are actually going to inform the science PAT field test, which will be coming up later in the year as well, which we would encourage you to participate in as well.
Exactly. I know that math questions have been submitted to Veretta, but I don't think they've been posted yet, but that should be any day. And language arts, I don't know.
No, I don't. There is a practice test. I know there's one at least.
Yeah.
And then it's highly recommended, as Kurt is saying, to try the practice test and get your students familiar with the platform. So just exposing kids to that, so you know it lessens their anxiety and gets them the feel for the type of test that they're going to have to do.
There's some really great tools built into Veretta for kids. So just getting in there and playing with those tools is really, really important. So
thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Kurt. That's great. So March 18th. Cool. Yeah, that's fabulous. Okay, lots of information. We know. So we've consolidated this slide into like the top things, key points from this meeting. It's not everything, but it's a lot. So set rep teachers, if you have 5 minutes to present at a staff meeting what happened at the set meeting, or even if you print this slide and post it in your staff room so other teachers can see, this is a tool just to help you be able to take what you have, you know, heard about at this set meeting and share it back with your colleagues. We hope that you are that representative for Division 2 to bring all of this knowledge back to your schools. We know how challenging it is to get out to everybody. So we thank you for that work in communicating with with your colleagues at school.
Where can I access the slides after the meeting?
The slides will be on the NCIS site along with the recording.
Yeah, under presentation. So if you go all the way down the black bar, it says presentations at the bottom. Yeah.
It'll probably be there tomorrow because we have to download and upload. So probably by tomorrow it'll be there. But we can drop the slides. Can we drop the slides in the
Totally,
in the chat again?
Yeah. Let me get there.
Yeah, great question. All right, that's all from us. Helmut, do you want to say any final words before we pass it over to Danielle?
Thank you again, elementary team. What a great presentation. A lot of great information here again. I'm glad you mentioned the whole Veretta piece as well, because we do want to encourage our teachers and our students to use those field practice tests to get more comfortable with the platform. We're moving more and more towards having all our schools administer their PATs on the Veretta platform. And I know from last year and the previous year that experience for those schools who participated was seamless and much easier. And you also get immediate data from your students once the test has been submitted. You get those results, especially for the Part B, almost right away. So yeah, thanks again, elementary team. Wonderful work. Kirk, did you want to add anything? Nothing to add here, just I'm still licking my wounds from the not being seen as an adult thing, but I understand that too. So thanks, team. You did a great job presenting. Much appreciated.
We love you, Kirk. We love you. Okay, well, on that note, if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out through email. And we will pass this on now to Danielle, who will dig into ELAL. So if you're a French school, please stay on for just a few more minutes with Danielle. And if you are an English school, good night. Thank you so much for coming, and just reach out with any questions. So thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, thanks, everyone. I'll just give everyone a little bit of time to sign out. If you're one of the French immersion schools, we'll start in about a minute here. I'll pull up my screen. A little ways down. Okay. So again, if you're not part of the 8 French immersion schools, you do not need to stay tonight because this information only applies for those 8 schools. Unless you're considering coming over to one of the French immersion schools, then please feel free to stay. Oops, wrong one. All right, here we go. Okay, on commence. I do this one in French, or in English, sorry, knowing that some of our admin are not French speakers, which is just fine. And before we get started, I just need to take a minute to thank God for his indescribable gift of the teachers in the district, the DLCTs, the principals. You're going to see in these next few slides how many people it actually takes to keep this French immersion program going so strong. And I'm so grateful for all the help that I've received from DLCTs and from individual teachers who are so excited to share their gifts with the entire. So I am just so grateful for the French immersion community. During this set meeting, I wanted to really spotlight the organizing idea of vocabulary. La compréhension du sens et de la formation des mots facilite la communication orale, la lecture et l'écriture. In other words, utilisation. The new curriculum really focuses on teaching vocabulary explicitly to our students, where that really lacked in the old curriculum. If you follow the consortium's document that they use, numbered curriculum, they separate all the organizing ideas into themes. And so vocabulary can be separated into the two themes, new words, nouveaux mots, which is what covers your tiered vocabulary, words learned in other languages like Spanish at home or any other language, making those connections to the French that they're learning at school, and working on categorizing words such as verbs, nouns, adjectives, etc. And then the other theme for vocabulary is spelling, orthographe. So that's where they talk about alphabetical order, spelling rules, régularité orthographique, and the use of resources such as dictionaries, online thesaurus, etc. So that's all in our curriculum. I've gone and broken it down. Sorry, I've got the K-3 here. I will put the 4-6 in. I just forgot to do that. Sorry. I'll have them in tonight. But I've broken the vocabulary. I've simplified it so that you can share this set teachers. You can share this with the teachers in your school to help them really focus on what the expectations are in their grade level, but also they can see what's before and after. For example, alphabetical order is only taught in grade 2 and grade 3, specifically from the curriculum. And then starting grade 4, they don't talk about it anymore. So that's not to say you might not need to teach it. However, it's important to know where to find it in the curriculum. Okay, let's talk about a lot of new resources available for teachers. I'm going to talk about this one quite a bit because I very much like it. There's a quote that comes from this resource. La lecture constitue la plus grande source d'accroissement du vocabulaire. Mais pour ce faire, il faut donner des textes en lecture autonome dans lesquels 95% des mots doivent être connus pour que l'élève comprenne et autour de 97 à 98% pour amener à une acquisition incidente du vocabulaire. Alors, it's really a chicken and the egg. You need to read to gain vocabulary, but you need to understand vocabulary to become a better reader. And so it's so important in the books that we're choosing that the vocabulary that's being used is at your students' level. But it's also equally important that we are explicitly teaching our students vocabulary so that they can understand texts at a greater level. To teach vocabulary, you have to definitely plan your words ahead of time. This needs to be planned in advance. Words need to be presented in authentic and a variety of different ways to the students, in authentic ways. We have to more than just explain a word. It's more than just, this is the word in French, this is the word in English. We're going to look at these all week and then we're done with them. We need to play games with them. We need to tear them apart and we need to reorganize them using visual supports, the tableau d'ancrage, I forget my English, anchor charts. And then really valoriser la réutilisation, I can't remember in English, really getting value when they do use one of your weekly words. They're going to connect with that word so much more when maybe you've got a program in your classroom where you catch them using one of your words of the week or words of the month, right? And just really celebrating when they're using these new words and always trying to have fun while they're learning them. So here it is, le vocabulaire pour mieux lire et écrire. There are hundreds of activities that work on sense, form, and usage of vocabulary, which is exactly what our new curriculum is asking us to do, to teach it explicitly. So I find this resource aligns so well with our curriculum. 2 copies have been purchased for every school, one for Div 1, one for Div 2. They are activities that range from grade 1 all the way to grade 6. And I'm going to tell you a few things about this resource. There are 2 ways to use this resource. The first one, in reading chapter 2, it just covers the activities in general. There are general activities. So these activities can be used in any grade level and can be adapted for any grade level. Each activity comes with a little box that'll tell you whether it's working on sense, form, usage. It tells you if this is group work, if it's individual work, and it tells you the materials you're going to need from the program. For the general activities, you use your vocabulary that you would like to use. So if you're starting a new unit in science or in math or social, and you want to introduce and work on new vocabulary, you can select your own words that you want to use with the kids. These activities can be used all year long. If it's really successful in your classroom, why not use it again with a different unit and a different set of words? And these activities are very, very little to prepare ahead of time. So the second way to use this resource, the rest of the resource is separated into 6 chapters, 1 chapter for every grade level. And each chapter is got 40 different lessons. So they are 10 blocks, 40 lessons separated into 10 blocks. So each block has about 3 or 4 activities. And they pre-select the words for those blocks, right? So it's very clé en main. You're ready to go. It's scripted. It's got des fiches reproductibles that you can print off and use in the classroom. By the time you're done your unit, grade 1 and 2 kids will acquire 100 new words, possibly 120 for 3 to 4, and grades 5 to 6 up to 150 words. So, and they're very, very cute activities. They're like little mysteries they have to solve. And because there's 10 blocks in each theme, each block you get a bit of a hint, a clue to this grand mystery you're trying to solve by the end of the year. So kind of something fun to engage the students in. So the reproducible sheets, there are 2 ways that you can access them. I'm in the process of creating duotangs right now that will contain all the sheets. I'll have 1 per grade level per school. So grades 1 through 6, all the reproducibles, because that's the kind of person I am. I look at a resource and I need to see what the activity looks like. So you'll have the duotangs for each grade level. But if those duotangs go missing, or if you would like to create more in your schools, I've created accounts for every school, and it's accounts for 3 different companies, 3 different resource creators, publishers, that's the word. And set reps, I need you to print this sheet out, please, and maybe put it in the staff room or put it in the cubbies for each teacher so that they have access to it. It's got all the username and passwords for your school, and they can get the reproducibles for the resource I just finished talking about, as well as for Div 1, they would use Passe-Temps for la trousse d'évaluation des codes. If their papers go missing, they can print more there. As well as Fino Education, there's a fabulous resource that I'm going to show you that I was purchased for grades 5 to 6, and you would find it there. So more information coming soon. So this is newly added on our NCIS website. I have put le vocabulaire pour mieux lire et écrire on there. There's no teacher guide, but I put the reproducibles for the grade levels there as well. You have lots of access. Also, ACP has created a club de lecture for this resource. So they've got 4 sessions. One they've already done is pre-recorded. I've put the recording there. You'll need your ACPE membership to sign in. And if you don't know what your ACPE membership is, please talk to your admin, because a membership was purchased for every teacher in French immersion this year. So you can get the videos. I'll keep putting them on NCIS as they come out. So that'll help us also. This new resource, Mission Phrase Complexe, is really going to help your students, your grade 5 and 6 students, with their writing. It covers les marqueurs de relation. It's super fun. It's done orally with your class all together. They're very easy, and it's just discussion questions. You'll definitely want to take some time, and I'll tell you where you're going to be able to find some time to click through this resource. It is on NCIS under Resources French grade 5 and Resources French grade 6, because they cover different marqueurs de relation. So definitely take your time to look through those. If you have questions, you can ask me. I will be creating videos on them, but for now, this is as far as I've gotten. And Truc ou Troc is one of the card games that was purchased last year. I put in a video. You can play the video with your students to show them how to play the card game. This is fabulous if you're covering La Traite de Fourrure. It's all about the trading and the furs and les biens, les services, and it's a really great, fun way for them to learn. It's oral communication. Super, super neat. So the video for that is, again, under Resources, French, each grade level. If you go down to oral communication, you'll find it there. Super fun game. Have been created for you. I've created a resource board for la morphologie as well as le vocabulaire. There's excellent resources on here, whether it's to inform yourself as a professional and get more information on what is morphology. There's also resources there for teaching morphology and just little details that you'll need. But again, you'll need a little bit of time. So admin, if we can find time to give our teachers to just go and click on these links and see the wonderful things that are on these resource boards, it would go a long way. I've been working with Jennifer Perry, the social science consultant. She came up with the idea of a resource board for Le Mois de la Francophonie. She is a big advocate for French immersion. She's always got that lens. Her kids have gone through the program as well. So this one is being posted tonight on NCIS, and it's got activities that you can do with your kids. It's got les balados, what are those called? Podcasts that you can listen to. Some of them are for students even. They've got lots of activities that you can do. And again, lots of things just to inform you as a French immersion teacher, as a professional, just kind of where to access more resources. Yeah, more information to come on that. I wanted to have these ready for you tonight. I'm sorry. They will be ready by March 7th, I promise. We're almost there. There's just a little bit of tweaking that needs to be done. So our community of practice group, 4 to 6, have created leveled vocabulary in French for all subjects. So yes, and that's for kindergarten to grade 6. We're almost done that one. As well as for grades 3 to grade 6, we've created these matrices de morphème, in English, morpheme matrices. So I don't know if that's a real Anglicism. I searched for a better word for it, but that's all I could come up with. But it's really great to be able to tear a word apart and look at les racines, les préfixes, les suffixes, create new words and be able to use them in context. So those are almost complete as well. And those will be on both of those resource boards on NCIS. Okay. This beautiful resource was created by Martine Lapointe at Holy Name. Again, it's to work for La Morphologie, so grades 3 to 6. It has been built out for grade 6, meaning there are 25 words that she's already created les diapos for, that you can work on every morning with your students or once a week with your students, whatever you decide to, and however you decide to incorporate morphology. She's also made a template so that if you wanted to use some of the other words on your vocabulary lists, you can actually make your own, right? She's going to offer a session on our district PG Day on March 7th to go over this and how she uses it in her classroom. So that's one to look out for. Café Matin is another resource being shared, also by a teacher at Holy Name, Victoria Hodzinot and Madison Fritz, who's at Madeleine Douay now. They created a program for their grade 6 class, but this can be adapted for every grade level. You just have to decide on what you want to work on each day of the week. They use Info Jeune, like current affairs French magazine, in order to teach this to their students. It's helped with compréhension de texte, with grammar, with oral communication, and they do the same activities every single week. So she says it starts slow at the beginning of the year, but by the end of the year, their writing just improved so much and their competencies. She is also presenting this at the March 7th PG Day. So you can look for that one if you're interested in learning more about it. And here we go. Les ressources en route. Here's what's coming. Here's a little bit of what's coming. So, Escalier, the entire collection has been purchased for every school, both in paperback and the lifetime digital license. Escalier is the natural progression from the decodables, decode, that we use at the lower levels. The grades 3, 4, 5, 6 can't be using decodable readers. So Escalier is the natural progression. It is leveled reading. However, it aligns with the new science of reading where it's progressive and the higher levels will not include anything that hasn't already been taught in a lower level. So really great program for guided reading. The next one, we ordered another trousse from Apprentissage Illimité, all the different card games. People are starting to ask each other, where are these cards? And this one's always got them in their room. And so we ordered more. It comes with a different teacher's guide. Ma Parole is a level higher than Bien Joué. These are 25 oral communication lessons or lessons that work on oral communications in the classroom. Again, clé en main, and they're more geared for grades 4 to 6. So you have some beautiful lessons already planned out for you. If you went to the RK Publishing booth at convention, they were displaying their Mission Possible. We've already ordered them. They are en route. We ordered all 36 titles. We ordered 5 copies of each. These are to be used as for your classroom libraries. These are high-low readers for French immersion students. They are engaging, they are beautiful, they are easy to read, and they are meant for 4 to 6. So you'll get 5 copies of each, and you just need to divide them between your grades 4 to 6 classrooms. However you guys want to do it, they are to live in your rooms, not at all in the library. I don't even want them to go there except to be cataloged, and then I want them out of the library. You can use them for silent reading, guided reading, it's up to you. Okay. Histoire Forte, again, we purchased 5 of every copy to help with your des attentes in French, Indigenous stories. So to be able to incorporate them, Victoria and I are wanting to, we'll see if time doesn't run out, work on projects that can go with each and every book. And the grand vision is that eventually we'd be able to kind of organize these cross French immersion school programs where we're exchanging, where each school is kind of responsible for different books, and we present them virtually to each other's classrooms, but that's a long ways down. That being said, 5 copies of each, and I would really like them to be organized, all 5 copies together in a book bag, for example, to be used for guided reading, to be used in book club kind of ways. If you all disagree, though, you organize them the way that it's best for your schools. My hesitation is if you give one set to grade 4, they will do them all, and then by grade 6, there won't be much new and novel, right? So, also, just like last year, Edition Passe-Temps, we ordered games that these ones are more geared towards grades 4 to 6. I'm not going to go through all of them with you. I'm just letting you know that these are all en route, on their way. You can go through and take a look on what they're for. Popular demand asked for more of the games that do les inférences, as well as Histoire de raconter. So I ordered more of those. But I've been doing these as I go in the school. I've been doing these games, Les Pirates, Le Gymnase, with the students, and they just love it. They're like little detectives trying to find out who the mystery person is. So, all right. Our PG Day coming up March 7th. We have a unique experience, a little different from the rest of the district, where Darlene has offered St. Pius School as our host school, and all 8 French immersion schools are going to come together for the entire day, hopefully. Definitely for the morning, starting at 8:30 to 9, coffee and fellowship. From 9 to 9:45, there'll be a segment on universal design of learning. And then starting from at 10 o'clock, you'll go into your session 1 that you get to choose. And 11 o'clock is your session 2. If you're staying for the afternoon, lunch will be provided for you. The afternoon will be spent collaborating within your grade levels. So it's going to be so nice to have a chance to speak with all the teachers in grade 6, for example, and see what's working for them, what's not working for them, helping them to problem solve. There's so much experience in our district, and it's just such a wonderful opportunity to be able to share. So set reps, please share this slide or this information with your teachers as soon as possible. This is the Google form they need to sign up for the PG Day. So you can share that out to them, and they can sign up tonight if they wanted. I've given more details of what each session entails. And yeah, it's promising to be an exciting day. Helmut, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Danielle. First of all, what a great job presenting. Merci pour toutes les informations, les ressources que les profs peuvent regarder et utiliser à leur discrétion. Yeah, so the March 7 PG Day, we're very happy that is going on, a full day PG. We chatted with the French immersion elementary principals, and they were all very excited about this opportunity to come together. You're going to have about 130 teachers or so who will be coming together to network, share their expertise, and learn from each other. So what a wonderful opportunity for all our teachers. And then in the afternoon, we'd hope that most of the teachers would stay and continue the networking with their grade level experts. But if you decided that you wanted to go and attend another session that Learning Services is putting on, you're more than welcome to do that. But thanks to Darlene, thanks to the other principals for agreeing to this day. We're very excited, and thank you, Danielle, for organizing.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, last slide, and then you can go home or you can cook supper. If you're not on my distribution list, or if you could share the distribution list with your teachers, that would be really great. I send out an email every 3 or 4 weeks with these kind of updates. So that way, if you're feeling like, oh, I never know what's going on, this is a great way to stay informed. Admin, please invite me into your school. I'd be happy. I've done a couple hymn sings at Our Lady Queen of Peace. I did a working lunch at St. Cecilia today. I'm happy to come in when we can make it work. My last cycle 3 of modeled lessons. I've been loving coming into the schools for these modeled lessons with Marie-Lou. I'm doing my own now with just myself, and I would like to offer to the teachers to choose a resource that's been purchased in the last 2 years here that they're curious about, that they want to use, but they don't have time to wrap their head around, or they don't know if they're using it right, and they really love to see me try and use it with the students. I would love to come and do model lessons with any of the resources they would like me to use. So I'm starting here. Admin needs to sign up for one of these following days if they want me to come in. And then once we have dates, I will send you your specific sign-up sheets for your teachers. So I'm hoping that goes over really well. So est-ce qu'il y a des questions? Avez-vous des questions? I know I've given a lot, and please share these slides with your teachers. And if there are no questions, we'll go into our closing prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, we thank you for your presence with us today. May the things we learned lead us closer to you. Help us take insights gained and use them to serve others. Guide our hearts until we meet again. Amen. Saint Paul, priez pour nous, au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit. Amen.
Yes.
Thank you
Merci
so
beaucoup,
much for your
Danielle.
time.
Merci beaucoup,
Merci
tout
à
le
vous.
monde.
Thanks
Merci
everybody for
beaucoup.
your time. So
Bonne soirée.
appreciated.
Au revoir.
Au revoir tout le monde.